Folks, welcome back to the endless supply of Diecast news because there is always something going on. Always. New products, events, all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll jump right into it because we do have a lot to look at as per usual. Starting off with Mini DT, we received a pre order on November 3rd. I actually think there's going to be a pre order tomorrow night. It's usually every other Sunday. Anyways, this first pre-order is actually pretty nice. I think this is one of those mixes where I need every car. We have a Corvette ZR1, and this one's actually really nice. It's hard to tell in this photo, but the wheels are actually carbon fiber. The front splitter's carbon. The wing, I think even the roof right there is carbon as well. So very nice. Bentley Batour in Scarab Green. I think this is a new casting. Actually, this one might have already been in pre-order on a different color, but BMW M5 in Alpine White looks really good. The Volkswagen ID Buzz, I think it's in like a K&W and BBS livery. And then another one that I know a lot of people are going to be excited for is this Nissan Skyline GTR. It's in dark metal gray, and this is one of the CRS versions. So we're getting a whole lineup of all the GTRs and Skylines in this CRS, which is awesome. And then last but not least, another Nissan S15 Silvia Super Silhouette. This one is one of the Fausto drift cars. Obviously, you can see Mini GT was one of the main sponsors on it, which is pretty cool. And then more on that coming up. We got two more James Bond cars on pre-order. This one on the left is the Lotus Esprit Turbo. The color is Copper Fire Metallic, and then, of course, that's from For Your Eyes Only. And then we have the Aston Martin DB10 from Spectre. So two really nice ones. Definitely excited for these and the regular street versions of them as well whenever they inevitably come. So Mini GT also announced this. So these are the two blue and gold Fausto drift cars. And they did a special Halloween livery, so you can see the jack-o'-lanterns with the Mini GT carved into it, which is pretty cool. This one on the left is the one that is... Oh, I'm going... How do I go back? Okay. So the blue one on the left is obviously this one from this current pre-order. We don't know when we're getting this Halloween one yet. Hopefully it's not a special edition. But there's those. Up next, Mini GT unveiled their Datsun Sunny truck in that same black, orange, and blue Mini GT theme that they used for their Hyundai. And we have seen prototype samples for this casting, so very cool. I think this is awesome. Philippines Diecast Expo, which I believe is... Yeah, today's the 15th. This is literally going on right now. This is the event model for it. Nissan Skyline GTR R34 V-Spec in black pearl finish with TE37 wheels. So I do like that this one has some specific wheels. This is the kind of cool stuff I like to see for event models. No chrome. It's got some cool, like, neat, low-key differences. I did hear that this one was limited to 1,500. I don't know how true that is, but from what I've seen, these are not too bad on the secondary market. Why would they be? They're not chrome. They're not all flashy. They're kind of not boring, but more simple and clean. I like where we're going with event models. Maybe Mini GT is finally hearing the complaints. Anyways, up next. Here is another event model. So this is the second anniversary of the Osaka store, I believe, and Mini GT is doing this event model for it. I believe it's the same exact S15 that we just got recently in this athlete livery. I think the only difference is the gold 5-spoke wheels. So, I mean, if you already have the regular one, I don't know that this one's super worth it unless you're a completionist with this casting, but it is kind of cool. Not too bad. Up next, this is probably what I am most excited for in this entire video. These are the event models for the Essen Motor Show, which I believe goes... I think this goes November 29th through December 7th. So that week-long period. And, yeah, Porsche 911, GT3 RS Weissach package, black and orange. And then the BMW M3 Kaido Touring in the German flag livery. These are, like I just said with that Skyline, these are what event models should be. This is cool. These are amazing. I'm going to try to get both of them. These are going to be ridiculously expensive, I think. That's the only problem, because Porsche and BMW is pretty popular. So, yeah, I wish you all luck. I'm going to need it as well. Up next, Kaido House pre-order. Finally, the Kaido Star V1 is here. I do kind of like that. It's like the Kaido Racer Bozozoku style. Looks pretty good. It's in purple, crazy body kit, giant exhaust on the back. It is pretty interesting. I might have to get one of those, but I might wait for a different livery. Another BMW M3, this one in green. Not a big fan of the big Kaido House lettering on that. Toyota AE86 Sprinter Trueno Togue V1. So that's, I think, more of a drift car spec. Not too bad. And then a Nissan Skyline GTR R34 in highlighter yellow. So there's Kaido House. They are also doing a Fuji Speedway limited edition. Obviously, this is in Japan at Fuji Speedway, I would presume. And that's on November 23rd. Pretty cool. I think the whole thing's in chrome. This one's actually not bad. As far as a chrome model goes, this one's kind of cool, but it's also not really my cup of tea. And these limited edition, black edition, all these like super limited edition drops that Kaido House does just breed hype, in my opinion. That's kind of all Kaido House is a hype brand. But anyways, up next we have some pictures from the pop-up event that Mini GT had in Taiwan. So a lot of this stuff we have already seen, but there is some new stuff here. As you can see, we've got some of these Liberty Walk Sylvia super silhouettes, the Halloween one, and then the one that just went on pre-order. So those are both pretty cool. And then there's a bunch of Lambos back here. Those Silhouette R32s are looking really good. Murcielagos, some of those AutoZam LB40s, and a couple new Huracan GT super silhouettes, which is awesome. I figured that casting was done a long time ago, but they have revived it. Just like they have revived this Liberty Walk super casting. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like we've gotten more than enough of those. Same with the R35 Liberty Walks. But anyways, speaking of Liberty Walk R35s, here are two of the new ones. They do look, I don't know if the casting's probably the same, but they do have tire printing. I don't know. I feel, like I said, I feel like we've gotten enough of these. I don't feel like we need more of these. I mean, the Liberty Walk R35 is the casting that Mini GT has made the most of. I feel like we're just kind of wasting slots here when we could be getting other cool stuff. That's just my opinion. I know some of you guys are probably really excited for that, and I'm happy for you. There's a closer photo of those two Huracan GTs. Again, I don't really know why this casting needed to come back, but at the same time, when you look back at a casting like this, they didn't make near as many as they did for the R35s, and they were mostly all plain colors. So I like that they're doing some in like some actual cool liveries. So not too upset about that. Those will be pretty cool. These are gonna sell out fast. These are gonna be very, very hyped castings and releases. So I would recommend when these go on pre-order, get pre-orders in for them. Mini GT has received a lot of like really weird hype this past year, and stuff sells out and people price gouge. That's just kind of how it's becoming. So if you think something's going to be hot or sell out fast, just put a pre-order in for it. I don't like pre-ordering either. I hardly ever pre-order anything, but it's just getting to that point. Anyways, here's some more stuff. We have some Veilside RX-7s. These are actual drift cars. I think these are these Formula Drift or are these D1? These might be D1. Or that might be Formula Drift. I don't know, but that's very cool. I love actual drift cars like this. Drifting is a really cool section of motorsport, and so I'm very excited for those. And then you can see all the other Veilside stuff in the back. I don't know what this MX-5 is right there. That might be Rocket Bunny. I think that's the Toyota Veilfire in the back, or I don't remember what the other one's called. But yeah, really nice Veilside stuff. Yeah, up next, BMW. Very nice stuff here. Love that Z3 convertible. There's the 750iLs that everyone is wondering what happened to them. Well, they're coming. Just be patient. And then also the Mini GT Hyundai over here in the crazy body kit, and that's Datsun Sunny truck in the Mini GT livery right there. The last time I think we saw it was a resin prototype, and now it's metal, so it looks like that's moving along pretty quickly. So I do like that. Some Bugatti Belize, we've already seen these, but they do look really nice. That blue one actually has Michelin tire printing on it, is kind of why I threw that up there. I didn't notice that before. Next up, more Bugatti. Got some really nice Corvettes right here as well, and some Mercedes. And Glenn did an interview. Go check out the Mini GT official YouTube channel. They've been posting some videos, but he did a little, not interview, but he was kind of showcasing some of the castings that they were going to be showing off at this Taiwan pop-up event. And he mentioned something about Koenig Specials, which is something Tarmac Works has made in the past with the SL500s. And Mini GT is going to be doing Koenig Specials for some of their Mercedes. And he mentioned how it was kind of like Liberty Walk before Liberty Walk was a thing. I don't know exactly what my sentiments on that comment is, but yeah, that's going to be awesome. Up next, they're doing some Huracan Storados in these special edition liveries. I believe these are all based on real cars that Lamborghini has done. Very, very cool. I really like this kind of stuff. I'm almost wondering if these 4 are going to be in a box set. It would be kind of cool if they were. But I do know that these 4 Porsches right here in this pink color, what was it called? Passion Red? Passion Star Pink? I don't know, something like that. But again, in that video that he did mention that these 4 Porsches right here will be in a 4-car box set. Of course, it'll be the whole standard limited edition thing, but these should not be event exclusives. This should just be a regular pre-order item. So that is awesome. I love cool stuff like this. But aside from that, I got some nice Lamborghinis. You can see the little Lamborghini Temerario over here in the bottom left. Nice Porsches over here. That Porsche Carrera GT back there looks like it is nearing completion. So we should see that on pre-order soon. Or did it? No, it didn't go on pre-order yet, did it? Can't remember. Anyways, moving on. There's a closer look at those Porsches. Really like this dark green one with the bronze wheels up here too. Or maybe that's brown. Looks really good either way. Some Mustangs. I don't know why they're doing a Super Snake in... No, Dragon Snake. These are Dragon Snakes. I don't know why they're doing one in chrome. That's not very appealing to me. I do like this King Cobra one. And then these Mach 1s with the factory wheels look amazing too. There's another shot. We have some other Mustangs up here. I think these are 64 Mustangs. So I think these are both convertibles, but the yellow one has the top on. And then there's some Dark Horses and some GTDs in here. Looks awesome. Can't wait for a lot of this stuff. There are the... which one was the exclusive? I can't remember. I think it was the one up front right here is... Oh, crap. Now I don't remember. So there's 2 versions of this box set. One was exclusive to this event, and then one of these is a regular pre-order. I can't remember which one. The only difference is the trailer that's included is different color, and then the numbers on the side of the cars are different between the 2 box sets. Can't remember. But some nice Volkswagen buses and trucks we've already seen before, but they are looking pretty nice. More Hyundai stuff right here. So these 2 in the front were already released, and then this one back here was released at Goodwood. But there's some other... These are Ioniq 5s, I believe, just stock versions. And then the Veloster right there. Oh, I can't wait for the Veloster. My dad's actually thinking about buying an Elantra N, so I'm hoping he does. Him and I went and test drove one the other day. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know what these vans in the back are, though. Are those the Toyotas? I don't think so. Not sure. Well, I'm sure we'll see more on those later. But up here, more James Bond stuff. It looks like they're doing the old Aston Martins. The old Aston Martin Vantage V8s, I believe. Basically, British Mustangs. I can't wait. Those are going to be amazing. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. So yeah, very exciting. Up next, there's the Senna Collection. Again, I believe we've already seen all this stuff, but it looks very nice all together. And then here are all those Land Rovers, or Range Rovers that they announced for the Camel Trophy a couple weeks ago. So that's exciting as well. F1 and some rally stuff in the back. You can see the Lancia HF Integrales. One in Repsol and one in Toe Tip. Can't wait for those. And then also that BMW M3 rally back there too. That one's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. Some race cars here. You can see the Pfaff Motorsports Huracan Mustang GT3. There's the Corvette. Sick livery on that one. Some McLaren, BMW. There's the Skeleton Rexy for the Petite Le Mans. Aston Martin GT3. Overall, very nice stuff. I do think it's interesting how they do have that Porsche 963 back here on display, as we have not seen any more pre-orders for those. So, yeah, I don't know. Up next, they showed off a bunch of really, really cool trucks. So, they're going to be doing Scania. Am I saying that right? Is it Scania? Scania? I think it's Scania. But these are awesome. All different kinds of stuff. So, this one right here has like a flatbed lift. so it kind of like lifts up and then goes onto the ground. Car can drive on and off. Super cool. Um, the Glenn's yacht looks to be almost done. That thing is massive. That is just like That is like comically large. But yeah, so the yacht's almost done. I think this is the most complete photo we've seen of it, so that's really cool. Oh, I guess we mixed in some cube cars here. Cube cars for anyone interested. BMWs, Porsche, yeah, Supra. I don't really care about these. I know a lot of you guys do, so feast your eyes. Oh, Lamborghini. Cool. RWB. I think there's a Mercedes 190E back there. Kaido House. I think we've seen most of this stuff as well. I'm curious to know what this giant Volkswagen. I can't remember what Kaido House is calling it, but there's the small versions right there. I don't. Is that's 143 scale? Is Kaido House gonna start making 143 scale stuff? I don't really know why. I mean, maybe it's just my bias because I don't like Kaido House that much, but yeah, really big Volkswagen right there. More Kaido House stuff. There's the S13 casting, looks pretty good. There's the Kaido Racer. Is it Kaido? It's called the Kaido Star, right? I think so. BBR got some F40s, F50s. I see an F80 in the back. There's another F40 with the headlights up. Very cool. We've seen this stuff before. Okay, so here's another one of the trucks. I feel like this one was released years ago, but maybe they're just doing a slightly different color to it. But it looks like we're getting another car hauler, which is amazing. They are ridiculously hard to find, really expensive, and I know a lot of people that really want one. So I'm excited for this. More Scanias right here. Looks like this one has this one's a 4-axle. I don't know if this one has any like features to it or anything, but it's on a big flatbed, and I think it's being pulled by another 3-axle Scania. So very cool. Excited for those. Again, there's another picture of this like flatbed lift one. You can see in the background they have a little car transporter with like the window on the side. I think I have a better photo of it later. Some more Mercedes-Benz Actros haulers with some short containers. There's the what was that one? What brand is that one? Hugo Lloyd, something like that. And then Hapag Lloyd, that's what it is. That's the orange one. And then the big one pink container, so you won't have to go hunt down the really expensive Tomica hauler anymore. Very cool. There's a little short evergreen hauler with a red truck. And then there's a closer photo of that little box truck. That is super cool. Maybe this is the one that was on that flatbed, except this is the box that goes on it, and they just had just the tractor without the container. Either way, this stuff is really cool. I don't know if you guys agree, but I'm excited for these. And then they also showed this AMG dealership again. Very cool. We'll be picking that up. I still need to get the Nismo one. Oh, it's so expensive though. I'll get it at some point, I'm sure. And then they also had like a whole like mini GT timeline wall. Very cool. Just, like just going through the timeline with mini GT. Man, I remember when BBR was announced. That was in 2022. Holy crap. I've been collecting mini GT for a long time. Yeah. Because I was around and I was excited for when they announced BBR. So that's kind of crazy. Anyways. I believe all this stuff was from Philippines Diecast Expo. I believe these photos were posted like a day or two ago. But there's not really anything new here. There's some F1 we've already seen. Those rally cars. The Senna collection over here. We do have those. These are the Ford Torinos, right? Or no, the Ford Falcons. It looks like they're doing a bunch of like classic race liveries for them, which is really, really cool. I'd love to see more like classic American race cars like that. Anyways, moving on. Here's more stuff. This is the McLaren. That's the McLaren. It's the W one, right? Crap, I should have looked. But yeah, that casting has finally made it into resin form. They announced it a while, I think at Malaysia Diecast Expo. They announced that they were going to do that. So that's really cool. Another look at those Corvettes, Lotus. So BBRs, the 499P is coming from BBR. And the prototype looks pretty good. I'm sure with, BBR's quality, well, Mini GT's quality, but BBR's design, I'm sure this will turn out amazing. So excited to get those. And we'll probably be seeing the IMSA ones at least. Maybe some Le Mans stuff as well. Well, there's no way they wouldn't do Le Mans stuff for Ferrari. But yeah, very cool. There's some more stuff here. Ferrari 296 Speciale, thought was kind of cool. Some more colors of the regular 296. And then the 599XX Evo. Again, I believe we've already seen this, but just showing it again, it's been a while, and it looks awesome. Can't wait for that. In fact, I think this was the fastest car in Forza Horizon 4. And I really loved this car in that game, so I'm excited for that. Tarmac Works, finally moving on from Mini GT. Holy crap. Tarmac Works has a couple pre-orders. This was the one for October. Looks pretty nice. Lots of good stuff. I know a lot of people have been waiting very impatiently for this Toyota GR Yaris Rally. So that's finally on pre-order. Another Lancia Delta HF. Very, very cool. Martini livery. This Bentley Continental GT3 is awesome. Another Hyundai i20N Rally. And then a Pandem Mazda RX-7 in like highlighter yellow. And a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6. And that is the Tommy Mäkinen edition. So very cool. And then another truck, Evangelion. I don't know that a lot of people really care too much about the Evangelion stuff. I know there's a lot of collectors. Not really my thing. But anyways, moving on. The next pre-order, this is for November. Some nice stuff in here as well. So they're doing a collaboration with Joshua Vides. And I think he I don't know if he just designed these models or if he painted these liveries on real cars, but they do look pretty cool. I thought they were chrome at first. They're actually just white and black, but I think it's drawn to make it look like they're chrome. So as far as I know, this is a regular pre-order. These are not any sort of like event models or anything, so they shouldn't be hard to get. But they look pretty cool. I don't know if they're really my thing, but we also have a Schuko Porsche up here, 911 Carrera RSR 3.0 from 1975 Le Mans. That's going to be a cool one to get. And then Vertex Toyota Aristo, pretty cool there. Mercedes AMG F1 W14 from Italian Grand Prix 2023. A Koenigsegg 1 with no carbon fiber details, meh. And then a Mitsubishi Fuso Super Great in a Coca-Cola Santa livery. I love that retro like Christmas theme with the Coke. Very cool. I don't know that that's. It's kind of a novelty item. Well, I'll go back. It's kind of a novelty item. I don't really know that I would want to spend like $60, $70 on that. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys will. Very cool. There's another photo of all of those Joshua Vides cars together. And then moving on. This one is for the Manila Auto Salon 2025. Is this not the Philippines Diecast Expo? I thought it was. No, it definitely is, I think. But, well, maybe not. It just says Manila Auto Salon. But it's in the Philippines. So I don't know. Maybe it was part of that. But November 13th through 16th. So that is also going on right now. And, yeah. Limited 2784. Pink RWB 993. Not too bad. I do kind of like that one. I'm not going to spend the money on it, though, because it will be expensive. But anyways, moving on. They're also doing/did. I can't remember when Macau was. I think Macau already passed. But they're doing some event models for that. Here are the two main ones. So there's a Mercedes AMG GT4 from 2024. I think that one might have been... No, I don't think that one won. But very cool looking. And then also a Mercedes AMG GT3 from the FIA GT World Cup 2024, and that was the winning car. So that one's pretty cool as well. I know that these are both limited to a certain number. I hope I have it in here, maybe not. But here's their whole like brochure for the event. They have some regular stuff for sale, and then 4 event models, GR86 as well, and then the Toyota GR86 Moon Eyes. So they'll have all 4 of those event models. Actually 5, because they're also selling the Audi R8 in the cinnamon roll presentation theme, which I think is absolutely adorable, and I kind of want one. That's like the same type of thing as like the Kuromi one from last year, which I think is on pre-order for regular, so hopefully this one does too. But anyways, here's some closer photos. There's the 2024 Macau Road Sport Challenge GR86. Looks pretty good. I think this was the most limited one out of the bunch, if I remember correctly. I think they made less than 1,000 of these. It is pretty cool. There's the Cinnamon Roll R8. Just adorable. I love it. I love it a lot. That would go good with my Hello Kitty one. And the Kuromi one. And then there's pictures of all of them together. Pretty cool. I do like the keychains as well. And then Tarmac Works, I guess, has been trying for a really long time to become partners with Disney. I don't really understand this. Like, I don't hate Disney. I don't think anybody really hates Disney. I mean, Disney was a big part of all of our lives at some point, I'm sure, growing up. But yeah, I don't know. They've got this Toyota GR Yaris here in a Disney theme. Not for me. Not for me at all. But it is kind of cool that it's kind of like a passion project for Felix, I think. So, yep. And then we also was this from I think this was from Philippines Diecast Expo. Got some stuff. I'm pretty sure we've seen most of this. I do like this Honda Civic Type R that is kind of in like a JPS livery. Definitely looks pretty cool. I think we've also already seen this one before as well. The Student Driver Civic. We've seen this one. I think this one's on pre-order actually. Ford Escort RS Cosworth. This one's also on pre-order. Fiat 131 Abarth Rally. Don't think we've seen this one before, but it's a Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2 from 2024. So that one's pretty cool. We've seen this one lots. Just wanted to show it again real quick. Mercedes-Benz 190E from 1989 DTM in the AEG Olympia livery. Very cool on that one. And then a stock 190E, just a regular 190E. We have seen that before as well. Lexus LS400 in Flint Gray. I need to get some of these. I think there's one that's been released, but I do want some of these. I like the LS400. We've seen this one, Toyota GR Corolla in HKS. Vertex Ridge Soarer. I think that's another Soarer. Is it a Soarer? No, that's not a Soarer. That's a Chaser, right? I'm actually not sure on that one. It is a Toyota, though. Vertex looks like pink. Pretty cool. Here's some Honda Integra Type Rs. One in white and one in yellow. Actually, I think that one in yellow just released. So that one should be available worldwide here pretty soon. Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. Same casting that Mini GT is doing, I believe. But I don't know why you would buy this over the Mini GT. These do not have carbon fiber detailing. This is just one of those ones where Tarmac Works is kind of just irrelevant. So yeah, there's one in brown. It says brown metallic. It looks kind of gold to me, but there's also this one in green metallic. I do like the green on the spokes, but I don't know. The no carbon fiber kind of kills it for me. So we'll see what they look like when they release and how I'm feeling, what we've gotten from Mini GT. But those are there. Koenigsegg Gemera in green. Again, no carbon fiber is a crime on a Koenigsegg. So yeah. Mercedes, this is actually the event model. This one's limited to 1248. It says it on the plate right there. That one is pretty cool. I wish it wasn't so limited. Maybe they'll do a regular run later. Not sure. But anyways, there is the AMG GT4 as well. This one, yeah, so this one I think was the more limited one. This one's limited to 768. It's actually pretty elusive. We've seen these before, but they just look so good. I can't wait for these. A4 Quattros from 96 Macau. Wait, no, they're not both from Macau. The one on the left is from Macau. The one on the right is from Super Tourenwagen Cup. So that was probably somewhere in Germany, I would believe. Maybe. Anyways, here's this one. Really excited for this. The SLS AMG GT3 from 2015 Macau. It's the winning car. I believe this is just going to be a regular pre-order. Or actually, I think that one might already be on pre-order. Anyways, really nice. RWB 964 in blue. Looks good. There's the Philippines event model. And then there's a 964 in green. That one might have been released at an event too. Can't remember. And then they also did a live video where they showed off some stuff. I believe this is the student driver one. I think. Maybe this one is different. It's kind of hard to tell. But there's that. There's a Puma livery. That's a Lancer of some sort, which is pretty cool because we actually have gotten a Lancer wagon in this livery, so I might have to pick that up to go with it. Do like that. Lancia HF Delta Integrale in Marlboro and Shell. That's going to be a must-have. And then a Moon Eyes Porsche 911 GT3R. Definitely need that one as well. Motor Helix, new pre-order. Honda S2000 J's Racing in blue. And then a bunch of Honda Civics. Type R in Advan with, it says MF10 wheels. I don't know what brand that is. I'm assuming Advan. That would make sense to me. Honda Civic Type R FD2 in a Feels livery, and then a Honda Civic Type R EK9 in, it says Edamitsu Motion Red. And then last but not least, Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4 GSR in a Mines livery. So that is pretty cool. I know the Mines livery is pretty popular. And everything's licensed through everything. So that is great to see. More Motor Helix stuff. These are for HEC. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a like, I don't know, some of the names of these events just confuse me because this says HEC, which stands for Hobby Expo China, but then down here it says the first Hobby Culture Festival China in Hangzhou. So I don't know, but this is really really cool. So it's a set of NSXRs, and it says 3-stage development set, limited to 199 pieces, really limited. But you've got the resin prototype there, the diecast prototype, and then the finished version. I like this kind of stuff. I like what Motor Helix is doing. Up next, this is another model for, I think, that same event. This one's limited to 599 pieces, and it's a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4 GSR, of course, in the Rally Art deco, and it's on a scissor lift, which is cool. And I do believe the scissor lift actually does come with the car, so that is pretty cool. And then this one, what event was this from? I think I have it in my notes right here. Yeah, so this is also for... Oh, what is this one for? Philippines Diecast Expo, right? Yeah, this one's for Philippines Diecast Expo. It's a collaboration with Stance... Oh my gosh, I don't even know what that says. It's a couple different brands. I don't know exactly much. I don't know much about it, but there's a regular version and a chase. 400 of the regular version and 100 of the chase. The chase is the white one. They're calling it the White Ghost, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Time Attack 1999, and I that would lead me to believe that these are actually real cars, that like real liveries of this Civic. Not sure. I'll have to look more into that. There's some closer photos of them though. They do look quite nice, and this confirmed my suspicions. Greenlight and Motor Helix are partners, which is awesome, in my opinion. Greenlight, while they don't produce, or they haven't produced, like, super great quality diecast ever, up until now, they are a very reputable brand as far as, like, everything being legit. So I'm assuming that Motor Helix is going to be borrowing licensing from Greenlight, because Greenlight, of course, has Shelby and Ford licensing. And Motor Helix is going to be producing these. These are going to be, like... well, they might just be Motor Helix models. I guess it's a collaboration, right? But the rumor I heard a while back that Motor Helix is producing the Greenlight Premium models is true now after seeing this. So very cool. Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 2007 in red, and a Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake 2007 in white and black. Very cool. Those are going to be awesome. And here's some more photos of them. They actually look really good in these renders. So, dig it. I dig it. I like what Motor Helix is doing. I like what Greenlight's doing. So, yeah. Up next, here's some actual photos from one of these events. I can't remember which one. But there's some of those Mustangs. Bunch of R34s. Some R35s. A bunch of Honda Civics. Some engines back there as well. There's some more Civics. S2000s. Yeah, everything looks good here. Everything looks pretty good. And then there's a bunch of new variants for the Lancers that they're doing. I have closer photos of them here in a bit. This one, I'm not exactly sure on. So this is the Audi RS6 Avant GT. I know that Motor Helix put a pre-order announcement up on their page a while back for this in 118 scale. But this looks like 164 scale to me. I could be wrong. This could be the 118, but it's on a small base. They usually don't put 118s on little bases like this. So I'm assuming this is in 164, which is awesome. It looks great. Carbon fiber. Yeah, really cool. Up next, here's some more Civics and the Mazda 787Bs in the background. And I spy with my little eye 2 more liveries for that casting, which is amazing. Cannot wait for those. More stuff, Honda Active trucks. We've got a couple of those on pre-order. NSXs, they all look good here. I like the Advan one. There's the Alfa Romeo 8Cs. These are on pre-order now, and they look awesome. Definitely going to pick up both of those when they come out. And then here are the Lancers. So there's a Lancer Evo 9 GSR, a Lancer Evo 6 GSR, Evo 5 GSR, and a Evo 6 Tomi Makinen edition. So very cool there. Lots of cool variants. Fiber Run. I haven't seen much from them recently. I believe that they are still trustworthy. But here is a Subaru Forester STI version in silver. I believe this is just a regular release. And these are licensed by Subaru. Everything seems good with Fiber Runs so far. But I have some weird information here for you guys. So this was posted. Fiber Run, basically, the summary of this is that, at least my takeaway is that Fiber Run lost their Pagani licensing, so they're not making Pagani anymore. I tons of respect for them not continuing to make them and putting out a statement. This is the kind of transparency that I do like in brands. And so, yeah, you can pause and read that if you like, but no more Pagani from Fiber Run for now. So, it's very strange. Anyways, moving on. Diecast talk. Some new GCD Tacomas. There's a muddy version and a clean version. I think these are going to be like limited edition drops, like always. But they do look pretty cool. And then there's a chase version for each done in raw metal. And then, of course, raw metal with the dirt. So, pretty cool there. Mini Champs. More 7-Eleven stuff. So, Tarmac Works is doing it. Now, Mini Champs is doing it. I don't know why. I think a lot of these are really cool. The race cars specifically. And I'd like to get them. But they end up being so expensive on the secondary market. But there's 8 of them. Starting on the left. Porsche 934 Brumos Racing from 1977 Daytona 24 Hour. Then there's a 935 from Le Mans 1976. Porsche 935 19 2018 Salzburg, and a Porsche 935 19 2018 Martini livery. On the next picture over here, 934 from 1978 Le Mans, and then another 934 from 1976 Nürburgring 300. And then a Porsche 911 992.2 Cabriolet, and a 911 GT3 Weissach package. So, yeah. And here's photos of them all. They actually look really good. Mini Champs typically does produce some pretty good models. I don't understand why these have to be Taiwan 7-Eleven exclusives. It's just kind of annoying. I don't like that. Anyways, moving on. We actually have a regular pre-order from Mini Champs. These are CLDC exclusives, which, if you guys don't know, is like the main distributor for Diecast in China. So, yeah, these seem to be not very easy to get. I know you can order directly from CLDC's website, but yeah, like I said, it doesn't seem like Mini Champs is distributing their 164 stuff outside of Asia currently. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I don't know. With all the regular pre-orders I've seen as of this year have all been CLDC, so I don't know. But lots of cool colors here. I believe they're all 911 Carreras. You've got some 2025. I think they're all 2025s, yeah. Some nice colors, though. So there's that. Moving on, ignition model. Just one single pre-order here. The RWB 993 in matte pink. Pretty cool. Kyosho. So is Kyosho back? Like, are they beginning to make just regular 164 scale again? It seems like it. But there's, how many models are here? There is 4 times 3, 12 models. So Nissan Fairlady Z. And, let me go through my list. Yeah, Nissan Fairlady Z in black. 2 Nissan BE1s, one in yellow and one in blue, right here. Nissan 180SX in gray. There are some Subaru BRZs. Subaru Levorgs, which I've never heard of. Looks like a pretty cool wagon, though. And then some WRX STIs, Subaru Legacy Touring wagons. Those are pretty cool. And then a Nissan Silvia. So I'm assuming Kyosho is back to making regular 164, which is awesome. They've been absent from the market for a while. They've been doing those light-up versions, but yeah, this is cool. Up next, Majorette. This is the only thing I have. I did actually see some of these Majorettes in person the other day at Walmart. Actually, there was a restock when I was grocery shopping, and I actually was able to look at all of them. I'm not very impressed with the detail of them. And I think they're like $6 or $7 retail price. So at that price, this is a Hot Wheels killer for sure. But they don't really stand up to like our Mini GT Gold standard in my opinion. But yeah, there's a event exclusive for the Essen Motor Show. It's the Porsche 930 Turbo in black chrome. Moving on, BMC. These are both for the Philippines Diecast Expo. You got a Toyota Fortuner in a TRD livery, and then a Honda EG6 with a carbon hood. So pretty cool. And then these are for Macau. I believe they sold both of these at Macau. Collaboration with Monkey Racing and Gloomy. And yeah, pretty cool. Does it say what they're limited to? I don't think so. Usually BMC does, but yeah, these are pretty cool. Toyota GR86, not bad. There's the pink one. Moving on. Tomica Limited Vintage. We've got some cool stuff here. So this is a Mitsubishi Fuso Aerobus, and it's in the JR Bus Kanto livery. Two of the Toyota RAV4s. The black one is a RAV4 JV, and it's the extra two-tone package. That's a 1996 model. And then the green one is a RAV4 JV 1995 model. I really like that green one. I like that retro RAV4 deco going down it. And I also like the front bumper. That is very cool. And then we've got these weird things. So these are the Daihatsu Midget 2 Cargo R Type. Maybe that's supposed to be Type R. And yeah, these are 1997. At least the yellow one is. And yeah, the green one is also the same. So kind of interesting. And then these, I think, are going to be pretty popular. Personally, I don't think they look very good. I don't know if it's just me, but I was looking at the photos for these. I don't think these look very good. I'm just going to wait for someone like Almost Real to do them. But yeah, two Lexus LFAs. So the orange one is the Nürburgring package, of course in orange, opening hoods, and then just the regular white one as well. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited for these. I don't know. I don't think they look that great, especially for the price that Tomicas go for retail. So yeah, anyways, moving on. I also don't remember what event this was. I think this might have been Philippines Diecast Expo as well, or this might have been one of the shows in China. I can't remember. But they released a few event models. So these two right here, the R32 and then that Subaru, those are both event models. They look pretty good. And then this was also like an event package model. You get like a big box that came with the car, like a keychain, some stickers, I believe, and then this cup. I think that's like a metal tumbler. So pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. There's close-ups of that Subaru. It's the Impreza WRX STI Spec C in red. And then the Skyline GTR R32 Group A. So it's got the racing wheels. Looks definitely pretty good. And then there's the Mitsubishi Lancers. I think that's an Evo 5. Could be wrong. So yeah, very cool. And then lots of cool stuff shown on display here. Some Nissan Skylines. Says 25 GTT with options. So you can actually like swap out the bumpers and whatnot. Very cool. Some Mitsubishi Lancers. Okay, so those are the Evo 9s. My bad. So that's the GSR Rally R. I think that's what that gray event model was as well. And yeah, there's a closer photo of that blue Skyline with the different bumpers. And then there's an overhead shot of the meat and potatoes of it all. I really like this 2001 Toyota Crown Estate. And I also really like these Lexus LS400s back here. I was saying I wanted the tarmac works. Maybe I should just skip the tarmac and get one of these Tomicas instead. But yeah, really cool stuff here. A lot of this stuff is already on pre-order. So pause and look if you would like. There's the LFA. Looks pretty good. There's also that green chrome like celebration model that they did. Looks pretty cool. Land Cruiser 40 in the background. There's a closer look at those Lexus LS400s. Yeah, I like those. I might go with Tomica instead. They've got colored interiors and probably crisper details. Also, really like this one. Nissan Skyline Hardtop 2000 GT in lavender. That's a cool color for something like that. Might get that as well. Moving on, Spark. So they announced a bunch of pre-orders. So this is all from 2025 DTM. So you've got the three Porsches at the top. Um, Trends Hobby is actually doing these. We'll get to that at the end, but yeah. So Porsche 911 GT3Rs, Vantage GT3s, an AMG, and then four AMG GT3s. So all that stuff looks pretty good. And here's some like better photos with descriptions here, just a little bit clearer. Obviously, they typically when they're kind of like development announcements, not really pre-orders, but this just shows like what they're going to be working on, not necessarily up for pre-order yet. So they usually use the real photos for them. So very cool there. There's the last two, the Vantage GT3s. It's very exciting, especially with the Spark's increased quality for their 164 stuff. Kind of in line with Tarmac Works Hobby 64 now, I think is a good way to put it. So very cool. And then also, this is the Vantage AMR GT3 Evo 2024 from the 24 Hours of Spa. That's the winter car. Very cool. Looks, and this is actually a pre-order announcement, I believe. Very nice details. I believe those are metal wing supports. You've got tire printing, brake details, aero bits on the top, the antennas and whatnot. Yeah, this is a huge improvement. I love what Spark is doing. And they also announced this one, the AMR GT3 Evo 2025 from the Nürburgring. That was a pretty neat livery on that as well. And then some more F1 stuff. You guys can feast your eyes if you're interested in this. I don't know much about it, but these look like they're all from the USA Austin Grand Prix 2025. So very cool there. Next up, Hobby Japan. This is the only pre-order we have for Hobby Japan for this video. But these are the Toyota Crown Sport Zs, the 2.5 liter hybrid. And you've got Precious White Pearl, Ash, Black, Emotional Red 3. Why there's three emotional red colors, I have no idea. That is actually hilarious. Precious Bronze, and then Mustard. So, an interesting batch of colors. So, there's that. Next up, Trends Hobby. So, these two have been on pre-order for some time now, I believe. I think they posted these again because they were selling them at Philippines Diecast Expo. I think that's what these came from. But yeah, pre-order announcement for these. I've had a pre-order placed for these for like a month and a half now, something like that. They look pretty good though. Also, pre-order announcements for these. These are just regular pre-orders. Two McLaren Senna GTRs. One is in like a midnight purple, and then one is in that electro-plated chrome and blue. So I know a lot of people are going to love those. They do look really good. The carbon fiber looks nice. The details look pretty crisp for the price point. And I think these are supposed to be less than $20, probably like in that like between $15 and $20 price range. So very nice details for the price. Obviously, like the LCD versions will be much better detailed, but they're also very hard to find, a lot more expensive until they start releasing more colors. So yeah, those are very nice. And we have some photos here. Here's some of the Porsches. Got the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. A few different colors, gray, orange, and back green. And then the Porsche Taycan GT. I don't think that's the Weissig package one. I think that's just the GT, but they look very, very good there. Also, the Porsche 918 Spiders. That's what those are, right? Yeah, but they've got the removable hardtop and then the opening engine bay in the back. These look really nice. Excited for those. Up next, this one actually went on pre-order recently too. I think we covered it in the last video, but it's the Mobile One. I think this was a 1998, but there it is. It's got the opening parts, just like the presentation version. It looks great. I just wish it had tire printing. But here are some more of those McLaren Senna GTRs. Look really good. There's the midnight one that's on pre-order. So you got orange, electroplated, chrome and orange, blue and orange, red, the electroplated blue, black, a regular blue with carbon. They look really good though. I do like how these are turning out. And then there's also the red one as well. That's a nice close-up photo. And some Porsches from DTM. So I don't know if these are 2025. I don't know if it says anywhere on the car. But yeah, some really nice DTM Porsches. Love that orange and black one. So you got the Koos, which I think is the one that won 2025. Yeah, I don't know what year these are from. But yeah, and these two on the top are actually different. They might look the same at first, but they are different. So there's those. A couple more colors for the Toyota Land Cruisers, black and white, pretty nice. And then there's the Cayenne GTs, Turbo GTs, can't remember exactly. But yeah, I believe this top left one was an event model, and then the right one over here and the one on the bottom, those are the two that are on pre-order. They do actually look pretty good. Yeah, excited to get those. And then here are some close-ups of those Taycan GTs. So very nice. Lamborghini got the Huracan GT3. I think that's the Evo 2. I think. Can't remember. And then we also have a Urus and the Temerario. We have seen all this stuff before. Almost Real AR Box. I've got two things for them. So they announced a pre-order. I don't know if it was a pre-order or a release announcement, but it's the Lexus LC500 in white Nova GF. I don't know what the GF means. I guess if you want to call it your girlfriend, sure. And then we also have the Toyota Century 2023. So are all the Centuries these SUVs now? Or is this like a SUV version of the Crown? I don't know. It looks good. This one actually is released. I'm debating if I want one or not. I don't know yet. Anyways, moving on. LCD, I believe this is the last one we have. So they announced this box set for the Pagani Barchettas, which is incredible. I really, really, really want one of these. I like this kind of stuff. And like, I get this box set for the Barchetta. That's the only Barchettas I'll ever need. I won't ever need more than this box set, right? Because LCD is one of the pinnacles, in my opinion, as far as 164 detail goes. So yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if this is an event model or not, or an event box set. Hopefully they're released regularly. I think they're limited to 600, so we'll see. I will try to get one of these though. And they also put a pre-order announcement up for the Zonda Fs. Very nice. Got one in, I think that's yellow. I think it's just looking more orange in this render. But then there's black, blue, and silver. I think I'm probably going to get the yellow-orange one and the silver one. Very cool casting. They look great. And here's some photos of this Barchetta box set. Looks really nice. Some Land Rovers. I think we've seen all these before, but they do look nice. Some more Pagani stuff. I think this red and yellow Utopia are actually already out. But then there's also some other stuff with the Wyra BC over here. Are those... Oh, more Utopias right here. And then some Wyra BCs, I think. So those all look really good. More Pagani here. Wyras, I think just regular Wyras, which we have seen a lot of from them. But some more colors is always appreciated. And I think we have already seen this as well. This is the Pagani... I think this is the Wyra R Evo. Or it might just be the Wyra R. I think it's the Evo, though, because they've already done the Wyra R. Yeah, this is the Evo. Very cool. Opening parts. This is going to be mega. And then there's a nice back shot of the Lambos. All looking pretty good. They need to start releasing some of these. Anyways, that is it. Oh, also I have one tidbit about LCD. So, apparently, LCD and Motor Helix do share the same factory, and the reason that LCD has not been releasing models very fast is because they give priority to Motor Helix because Motor Helix pays them a bit more, which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to be a higher paying customer, you get a little bit of priority in the production. So, anyways, thought that was kind of interesting. But this video has been going for long enough. Thank you guys for watching. I definitely appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one.